Hi, and thank you for visiting my channel. For more information, kindly subscribe and follow. Now let's get started. A former WWE star has predicted that Roman Reigns and the original Bloodline are going to beat *Ed at Crown Jewel. Matt Rehwoldt, formerly known as Aiden English, also thought that Sami Zayn would be returning to aid the OG group against the new Bloodline. Reigns and the Usos are set to team up on Saturday in Saudi Arabia to take on Solo Sikoa, Jacob Fatu, and the Tongans. Jay agreed to reunite with his family after Sikoa and Jacob cost him the Intercontinental Championship. He got his revenge when Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa lost the WWE Tag Team title. On the latest episode of the Rebooked podcast, Rehwoldt agreed that Zayn would return to the original Bloodline at Crown Jewel. He predicted that the numbers game would *the OG lineup before the former honorary US makes the save to even things up. That's 100% where we're going. I mean, the seeds are being laid so hard there. I just don't know how, given the things we saw on Monday, exactly how they've thrown that wrinkle in there with that conversation. It does seem there will be shenanigans involved, even if it could be as simple, though, cause sometimes logistically, these Saudi shows can bring up some issues. So maybe it could be as simple as the numbers game *S over the OG Bloodline, Rehwoldt said. 48:38, 49:06, Roman Reigns and Jimmy Uso needed backup after being beaten up for weeks by the Bloodline on SmackDown. However, it will be interesting to see whether Sami Zayn truly aligns himself with the OG group, since he was seen talking to Solo Sikoa on Raw this past Monday. WWE Hall of Famer thinks The Rock vs. Roman Reigns will happen next year despite the feud between the two groups of the Bloodline. WWE Hall of Famer Bubba Ray Dudley thinks that The Rock vs. Roman Reigns will happen. Dudley predicted that it might be at next year's WrestleMania or even at SummerSlam 2025. I definitely think The Rock and Roman, at some point, whether that's main eventing night 2 of SummerSlam next year or WrestleMania, whatever it is, it's going to be huge. I think The Rock and Roman sells out the Rose Bowl, and that's 100,000 people, Dudley said on Busted Open. H/T, Wrestling Inc. The final boss is arguably the final piece of the puzzle in the Bloodline story. It's unclear whether he's calling the shots behind the scenes or still acknowledges Roman Reigns as the tribal chief. As Crown Jewel looms on the horizon, the WWE Universe buzzes with speculation that Roman Reigns and the original Bloodline could face a betrayal so shocking it would shake the foundation of the faction to its core. Rumors have hinted at the return of a former Bloodline member, a wild card with the power to turn everything upside down. Wrestling fans, pundits, and even former WWE stars have their eyes set on one man, Jimmy Uso. After Jimmy's recent absence from SmackDown, speculation about his potential return has fueled debates on talk shows, social media, and locker rooms alike. This theory is only amplified by comments made by none other than ex-WWE star Matt Hardy, who's voiced strong beliefs that a returning Uso may orchestrate a betrayal at Crown Jewel. Known for his own experience with complex storylines and family tensions, Hardy's prediction has added weight, making even the most skeptical fans wonder if this could be the twist no one saw coming. As the Crown Jewel event approaches, Roman Reigns is in the midst of planning his match against a formidable opponent. The tribal chief, as usual, appears composed and confident, though there's an underlying sense of urgency in his interactions with Paul Heyman. The wise man, typically calculating and cool, has been on edge since hearing rumors of Jimmy's supposed return. Heyman has tried to reassure Reigns, but even he seems haunted by the whispers of betrayal. Roman gathers the remaining loyal members of the Bloodline, Solo Sikoa and Jey Uso, at a private gym session to discuss strategy. The stakes for Crown Jewel are high. Not only is Roman defending his title, but he's also defending his reign as the undisputed leader of the Bloodline. Roman paces as he speaks, his voice calm but resolute, as if daring fate itself to challenge his authority. "Nothing and no one can destroy what we've built," Roman declares. "I am the head of the table, the tribal chief. We have no room for weakness, no room for doubters." And if Jimmy thinks he can disrupt us, he doesn't finish the sentence, but his silence speaks louder than any words. Yet, in the shadows, Matt Hardy's predictions are echoing through WWE circles. Hardy, a former tag team champion with an instinct for spotting family betrayals, claims that Jimmy's absence has been a well-calculated plan. According to him, Jimmy has been plotting a return with a new purpose, a purpose that Hardy believes will bring down the very bloodline that Roman reigns over. Jimmy is a wild card, Hardy says in an interview. He's been in Roman's shadow long enough, and I think he's coming back not as an ally, but as a threat. He's spent too much time under Roman's thumb, and Crown Jewel is where he'll make his move. That's where the betrayal's going to happen. Meanwhile, as Roman and the Bloodline's preparations intensify, Jimmy USO is nowhere to be found. In his absence, fans notice subtle signs that tensions within the Bloodline are beginning to unravel. Solo Sikoa's loyalty has been solid but quiet. He's been increasingly focused on his own battles, less engaged in the family dynamic. Jey Uso, the right-hand man of the tribal chief, is fiercely loyal yet visibly tense, caught between loyalty to his twin brother and his commitment to Roman. As Crown Jewel arrives, the grand spectacle of the event builds to a fever pitch. Roman Reigns and his opponent stand face-to-face in the ring, the electricity of the crowd pulsing through the arena. Roman's usual confidence is unwavering as he dominates the match, but behind the scenes, Paul Heyman is a nervous wreck, visibly anxious about the possibility of Jimmy's return. He paces by the ring, glancing over his shoulder at every flicker in the audience, every shadow that moves. As the match nears its climax, the arena lights suddenly flicker and the Titantron blares to life, displaying Jimmy Uso's face. The crowd erupts, half in shock, half in anticipation, as Jimmy appears on the screen, a cold smile on his face. "Roman," he begins, his voice carrying a venomous edge, "you thought you could control everyone. But what you forgot is that no one can control me." Jimmy's words send a chill through the stadium, and Roman's calm demeanor slips, revealing a flash of surprise, maybe even fear. He knows what's coming, but he doesn't know how or when. Then, without warning, the lights go out completely. The arena plunges into darkness, with fans screaming in anticipation and disbelief. When the lights return, Jimmy Uso is standing at the top of the ramp, his gaze locked on Roman. He walks down the ramp slowly, purposefully, his eyes never leaving Roman's. The tension is palpable, and Paul Heyman's face goes white as he realizes the gravity of the situation. Roman motions for Jey and Solo to stand by his side, but Jey hesitates, his loyalty visibly torn as he looks back and forth between his twin brother and the tribal chief. Jimmy finally reaches the ring, grabbing a microphone. His voice is low, controlled, but laced with anger and resolve. "I was part of this family before you took over, Roman. I was part of this family before you turned us into soldiers for your cause. This is my family, too, and I'm not here to play by your rules anymore." With those words, he throws down the mic, and chaos erupts. Jimmy and Roman clash in the ring, throwing punches with the ferocity of years of unresolved tension. Solo and Jey are torn, each trying to make sense of their loyalty, their family, and their pride. Jey ultimately moves to pull Jimmy away, shouting, "This isn't how we solve things," but Jimmy shoves him off, insisting that this fight is his alone. Paul Heyman, desperately trying to hold onto the last shreds of order, yells for security, but before anyone can intervene, Jimmy lands a brutal superkick on Roman, sending the tribal chief sprawling to the mat. The crowd gasps, stunned at the audacity and intensity of the betrayal. But Jimmy isn't finished. He grabs a chair and raises it high, ready to make his statement even clearer. Yet before he can strike, Jey steps in, stopping his brother. The two brothers lock eyes, a mixture of love, anger, and regret swirling between them. "Jimmy, this isn't the way," Jey pleads. "We're family." Jimmy hesitates for a moment, the tension between them almost palpable. But the decision has been made. He drops the chair, but his gaze remains defiant as he steps out of the ring, leaving Roman stunned and humiliated in front of the world. As Crown Jewel concludes, the WWE Universe is left in shock. Roman Reigns lies defeated, not by his opponent, but by his own blood. The OG bloodline has been shaken to its core, and the question on everyone's mind is simple yet powerful: what will happen next? In the aftermath, WWE fans dissect every detail, every look, and every word. Roman's empire has finally shown a crack, and while no one knows how he'll respond, one thing is certain: Jimmy Uso's return has changed everything. And as Matt Hardy predicted, the bloodline may never be the same.